Hola, controles, bienvenidos a su podcast El After. El de hoy tenemos una invitada muy especial, JOICEY. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Happy to have you here.
It's one of my first interviews, so I'm a little bit excited.
Don't worry, don't worry. Here's your home, and basically, here is people from Mexico to know you, know your history, how you start into music, how you develop that angelical voice. But yeah, basically, it's how to start into music. You can start like where you're from, where you were born and raised, and how was your development into music.
Yeah, so music was always like a really normal thing to do. Like I started playing piano when I was 6 years old. I hated reading the notes since I can think. So my mother gave me some like lessons for improvisation. So I started to ask myself in very early ages, like, why do I have to learn to play music that already exists? I want to compose my own shit. So I started to compose some classical stuff because I was always also a little bit shy when I was younger. But then later I started to play guitar, and so I started to sing, and I really liked it, and I started to sing some covers, and it started really, really late that I wrote my first song, actually. It was when I was 19 years old. And yeah, like 1 year after, I wrote an application to Fabio Fusco, and was asking if he's interested in maybe making a track together. And I was not really believing that he replies to me. Really not. Like, I was into psytrance like for a couple years, and at one evening I was seeing Bliss playing live guitar on like a psytrance party, and I was like, what the fuck, this is so cool, live music with psytrance, that's so nice. Imagine a live singer with psytrance. That would be so cool, but it doesn't exist, and now we made it. And it's like the biggest lesson for me that like you always have to believe in your dreams and stick to it and trust the process.
Yeah, for sure. Because, yeah, but when you have a dream, you set the goal, and yeah, I think if you never let up your dreams, you never let your dreams, you are going to accomplish them. Yeah, but a lot of people stay in the middle of the way. Yeah, because when I start like looking into your profile, into your music, into your social media, I saw some pictures that use like and videos like singing with a little piano or with a guitar.
Oh god, these videos are so old, but yeah, I love it. So I always start to compose on instruments. So
Yeah, but it's very good because you were not shy enough to express yourself, because there are a lot of people that sings very good, but they don't record themselves because they're very shy, or maybe they have too much ego.
it
Like,
takes some time. I didn't like my voice in the beginning. You have to really, like, this is the key of life. You have to first push yourself out of the comfort zone, even if it's fucking uncomfortable. And then you have to just trust the process.
yeah, for sure. But you shared us that you start learning piano, like improvisation and all that, and all the skills and everything. Then you learn some guitar. But how was that singing process? How did you start?
How did I start? I think when I learned guitar playing, like my teacher forced me to sing. I was like, doesn't that sound weird? And then I like was like exploring YouTube, and like, YouTube was a really new thing at this time. So I was like, oh, seeing Tailwatt, Boys Avenue, all these like US guys, like musicians who cover some popular songs, and I was like, oh, I really want to do that. And so I really start to like the process, and my sister always came to me like, let's sing something together. So it really became a thing. Yeah, I forgot the question.
No, you answered it. That you start singing when you start playing the guitar and you get under.
Yeah, the process. Like I learned a lot in the studio with Fabio. Like the range, like from when we met and made the first recordings, like I feel ashamed a little bit from the first recordings. Like compared to now, it's like a really huge difference, because I learned a lot. I take a lot of vocal lessons from different vocal teachers. When I was living in Vienna for 1 year, I had a different vocal teacher. I had 3 different vocal teachers in Hamburg, and I think you never finished learning, you know? You're never finished in learning.
No, never. And what was your first approach to electronic music? You told us that you saw Bleeds, but before, what was the first approach?
First approach, I was a really quick party animal, I would say. I was always interested in clubs because, like, when I heard from clubs before I turned 16, I was like, oh my god, this is such a, like, different world, kind of, so cool. And so when I was 16, I was turning 16, I went to the, like, biggest club in North, let's say Bundesland?
Germany.
In North Germany. Like, I went there every weekend. I was in the newspaper because I tried to organize a shuttle bus to this club. I was on the, not homepage, the center of the letter of the newspaper.
On the front of the newspaper.
Yeah, because I was 16 and I needed a bus shuttle to the club to save the money for the taxi that I can go more often to pick up.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah, so I was really into electronic music. I really loved different electronic musics and music genres. And when I was turning, I think 19, one of my best friends that I met in this club and went also to this club many times, she like, do you know trance? I was like, no, what is this? And she was like, okay, I'll show you. And I was like, oh fuck, this is nice. I think I stayed here for a while, and 5 years later I was still inside it, and yeah.
Wow. And what was the first artist or the first track that you like changed your world?
I think it was Ranji.
Ranji. Wow.
Like Butterflies, and then I think 1 year after they came like Waterfall from Neelix.
Yeah, I think Neelix
Started with the mainstream area and then went more darker later.
Yeah, Neelix and Ranji. Yeah, Neelix is like so punchy and so clean and so powerful, and also Ranji. Every track that he launches is amazing.
I was really quick, also a fan of Fabio Fusco with my friends, so we also traveled like from northern Germany to different cities when he was playing. Like we had a WhatsApp group called Fabio Fusco.
Really?
Yeah. And we went like to too many places where he played, and like went in the first row. And I remember one time I like was tagging him on Instagram in the story, and then like he reshared. I was like, oh my god, he reshared, I'm gonna die. And yeah, look at me now. Yeah, it's really, I like younger me would not believe what I'm doing now, you know. It's really crazy. I was just a party girl dreaming that one day there will be like some live vocals. And I also loved to sing by myself. I had a lot of bands. I was playing e-guitar in a band. I had like concerts. I was also singing in a club already in Spain. So I had already the experience singing in front of some thousands of people when I think I was 17. So I had some experience. But I was not able to think that far, you know. I didn't believe in myself so far to reach that point where I am now.
Yeah, and how was like the first pleasure, the first studio experience with Fabio when you apply, you submit the talent?
I think it was one day before my birthday on the 7th May 2020. Yeah.
On COVID.
Yeah, it was really like, it sounds a little bit hard when I say it. When I admit it, I have to drink something. It's hard to say that COVID was for me actually the best thing that ever happened to me. I don't know what happened, what would happen outside of that, but only because of COVID, I came to the idea to take Fabio, because usually I wanted to do a work and travel year in Australia after I finished my bachelor's degree. So I already booked the ticket to Australia. I had the job fixed. I had everything fixed. And like 2 weeks before departure or something, like the borders were closed, everything was cancelled. So I was like texting my best friend, fuck, what am I doing now? Like I rented my room already. I have this flight ticket. What do I do now? And she was like, let's write Fabio Fusco if you want to make a track together. I was like, he's Italian. He's not from here. She was like, yeah, she's from here. Ask him. And then I was like texting me a message like, if hey Fabio, I really love your music, like your beats like are always like punching in the face, and I really love what you're doing, and I may be interested in making a trip together, and if not, I just wish you the very best day, and please never stop making this good music. Peace out. That was my first message. And like 2 days later, I was just scrolling Instagram, and then I saw the reply of Fabio. I was like, no way. It really happened. It was really cool. And then I was really excited. It was like, well, do you also write song texts and stuff? And I was like, oh my God, am I good enough? I don't know. And then he sent me the instrumental of Paralyzed, and I was immediately, I had this idea with Paralyzed. It came really quickly. It was like, something with paralyzed. What means paralyzed? Was doing some research. Paralyzed. That really describes the situation of where I was before I met Fabio. I was paralyzed. Like I do music, but I really don't see that this is the thing that makes me happy, that this is the thing that brings me out of actually also my dark thoughts. So I was obsessed when I realized now I feel so alive, because Fabio opens my mind. He really showed me again how important it is to believe in yourself. Yeah.
Wow, so the first track you record was Paradise.
Paralyzed, yeah.
Paralyzed.
Yeah, Paralyzed, yeah. And like the lyrics are exactly about the situation and how it happened.
And how do you feel when it was launched and it was like fully mixed and mastered, and you can hear your voice professionally by Fabio?
I was like the whole like thing, like the days before, like in the studio, everything was so exciting. It felt like a fever dream. And in the evening when I arrived at home, like he sent me on WhatsApp like, Josie, like just a question, like, would you like trust yourself singing the song on a stage? Like, do you know the festival Indian Spirit? And I was like, what the fuck? Of course I know it. It would be like a dream come true. And yeah, I'm so glad that I wrote this message, and I'm so glad that I'm like here now, and that I never gave up on myself.
So your first Psytrance festival after making that track was Indians?
Actually, how it started. So our very first gig was an RV car edition. We sang in front of 500 cars. So it was my first festival gig. So for me, it was like, I didn't saw the difference that hard. But like, of course, when you're a DJ, like you live from, like dance is the universal language of people. So when you don't have a dance, you only have cars. They were not allowed to go outside of the car. So it was a special experience, but still it was a nice experience.
Wow, I didn't know that in Germany they do that, like a rave on the cars.
COVID.
It's only for COVID.
Yeah, it was only for COVID.
Wow, yeah, because here in Mexico they make like they make parties, like secret parties, secret location parties.
Same in 2021, like our first tour to Brazil. Yeah, we don't know if the party might be cancelled. Like, it's very strict with COVID. There was nothing with COVID.
No, Brazil. No, I talked to a lot of Brazilians. I already have made podcasts with different Brazilians, and for them there was no COVID.
Like, yeah, but for departure, like we had to pay for PCR fast test. Like, I think it was €8 or something. Crazy.
Yeah, it was expensive. You're gonna travel, you don't have the shots, or you don't have like the PCR, and but in Mexico, they had parties, not big festivals, but there were a lot of parties, like in clubs. Like outside it was a restaurant, and inside was like a massive party, techno parties.
I love it.
Yeah, but in Brazil it was amazing, because I was asking like, how was the COVID in Brazil? And maybe small parties like
COVID.
Yeah, like 3,000 people. They say like, what the fuck is a festival in Mexico? Yeah, Brazil, it cooks very different than other. Yeah, people is so hard party. So you went into Brazil, and that was your first like impression to a crowd.
Yeah, that was so crazy. Oh my god, I think it was the second tour. Like until the second tour, I was always standing behind the DJ table. So as I told before, like I was a really shy child, I would say. Like, one of my dreams was to be a background singer, because I love to sing on stage, but I was afraid that people watch me. So I had always the fear to like be in the like center of the stage in front of many people. And my very first experience on stage, really in front of people, not like hiding behind the DJ table, was in Brazil on a festival. So and I was really like excited and nervous, but there were some Brazilian girls in the front row, and we never talked any word because they were not even able to speak English, only Portuguese. But they gave me that energy. They were like, JOICEY, and like dancing like this, and somehow they released all my fear. And I don't know what they've done to me, but I was only isolated with the girls when I sang, and only had like fun with them when I was on stage. We were like in a bubble somehow. And like after we finished the set, we were running to each other as we have seen each other before somewhere, and like just hugging and being happy. It was a really, really magical moment.
Oh, that's great. And how do you manage then after that party in Brazil, you always go in front of the stage and sing and jump into the stage?
Getting better.
Yeah, I've seen you. You don't look shy.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun nowadays.
Yeah, when I see you, I see you like you jumping into the table from the players and singing like a rock star. And so like it doesn't.
It's so much fun. Yeah, since I released all my fears, it's really nice.
Yeah, but you still feel a little bit nervous before going into stage, and then you're like.
Actually, no, I'm not nervous. I'm just excited because I love what I'm doing.
And do you?
Like, I realized that I'm not able to talk before I go on stage. I thought I'm normal because I feel normal, but when people try to talk to me before I sing, it's hard. It's like I like no, thank you, and then I just sing and have fun, and after everything is fine.
So you want to arrive to a festival like Taylor Swift, like with cigarettes?
No, it's all fine.
Because a lot of people is going to reach you on the Equinox.
But I love it when they speak to me. Like sometimes they make little presents. It's so cute. They can present. They're like, I want to give you a present. You had birthday, and I was like, yeah, but I don't want you to spend money for me. Like so, yeah, but say something that you want. And I was like, okay, something that brings luck. So I was hoping that they maybe find a magical stone on the ground that they give me, or something that they don't have to spend money. And they made a dream catcher out of sticks. And like with a card, like it was really cute.
Wow, very nice.
So I love it.
And so you have it in your rooms, and
I have it at home, yeah.
oh, that's great. Yeah, that's what dream catchers work for. Yeah, I have a big one in my room because I used to dream a lot of stuff because it's making music.
Every window one.
Really? Wow, you have allowed it.
But the dreams can fly out and in your room.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so happy that now you feel a little bit less shy because I hate like if people doesn't know you already.
This is what I mean with push yourself out of the comfort zone and trust the process. Because I'm the best, the best example for it. I was like so shy, and now I travel around the world. A lot of the things I do also alone. I push myself so often out of the comfort zone, and I notice how much I grow every time. I can just recommend to do it.
Yeah, Sharon, how do your parents feel about that change in JOICEY? Because in 2020, JOICEY was going into Australia for something else.
Pushing myself out of the comfort zone also.
2025, she's rocking on the stages, playing live in big festivals.
Yeah, it's I still can't believe that I'm doing it. But it's fucking nice. So I achieved already more than I ever believed in myself.
No, and I hope that this comes. Like, if you have been playing a lot of festivals, I wish that you keep like. I know the festival 2026, 2027, 2028. This you already started, so I hope you have that same story as Fabio. Want to talk to you 28 years later that you keep rocking.
I'm so fucking grateful for what I achieved already. So it's so many beautiful memories. So was heißt wertvoll? Komme ich nicht drauf.
Yeah, but remember what Fabio say. Never stop.
Yeah, so important, like, you know, skills, memories, everything. It's really nice.
And as a singer, please share us how is your process on writing a lyric?
Yeah, depends. Like the classical situation, what Fabio started in the studio, sometimes Fabio has a melody. And I freestyle on his melodies sometimes, and then he says like, oh yeah, continue on that one. But sometimes I just compose something for myself, and this is in different ways, and then I send my ideas to Fabio, and then he's like, oh nice, let's do it. Or send me the chords already, I start to play, and then I join to the studio when I find time, and then we build it by the track or optimize the lyrics or something. So I don't know, sometimes the best ideas I had on the bicycle, actually, I don't know why. Also Paralyzed started when I was driving with my bicycle. It's always a good thing to compose melodies on a bicycle. Sometimes piano, but often with a guitar. Yeah. And yeah, sometimes it's like words with melodies. Sometimes I just sit in the bus or in the train, and then I start to write some lyrics, and then I try to find a melody for this lyrics, and then I continue on piano or something. Like it's really different.
It's very difficult. I think it's very difficult. Like to writing lyrics is one thing, but musicalizing, like putting all the chords and all the melodies, I think it's more difficult. It's more like
I think for an ADHD it can be easy because for me it's hard to think straight. I always think like this, so for composing it's good, but
really,
yeah.
I thought that you need to be a little bit more organized, like you write all the lyric and then you place the chords and then you develop the melody around that chords.
Like sometimes you try out, but for me, like composing feels like flying mentally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very
nice. Best thing you can do.
Yeah, for sure.
I always feel so restless in life, but when I make music, I don't feel restless anymore. I feel arrived.
Yeah, because you feel so glad, so happy about making music, and music is like the language of the soul. So
therapy.
So this it's also a big therapy. So how many people feel different depending on the song that is listening. So if you want to feel happy, you have your song to go. If you feel sad, you have your song to go through. You feel very angry and madness, your heavy metal track, you're going to listen. So
yeah, still like when I capture a moment with a song, even if it's just a private song, you don't believe how many songs I wrote in the last years. But like when I then re-listen to that song, like I really get the emotions back from that moment, The old emotions where I wrote the song came up again. It's really crazy what music can do to you.
Yeah. I mean, music is a universal language. Even though you're from Germany, you can play or sing your tracks to Mexican people, even though it's not the same language, and they can feel the vibe with the melody, with the vocals. Yeah. For music, it's beautiful. And going into composition and making your tracks, have you besides working with Fabio, do you have in mind to start like working in like a side project like for yourself and start making music?
I have a fun project called JOICEY where I release like pop and indie pop, and I have released one R&B song, and plan is to release also there like all my piano ballads that I wrote in the past years. There, like I had just made a music video, and I have a lot of recordings already, but they are all not finished yet. Yeah, and I also like for my JOICEY project, I also start to do top lining for other producers, but like different genres. So like in psytrance, I only do music with Fabio, and like for example, I'm really into drum and bass at the moment, so I also do a lot of drum and bass. Yeah,
it's a good genre, also very big. Yeah, no, it's very good that you have a lot of tracks, and also you have your side projects, because I imagine that sometimes you are like too much into psytrance and you want to make something else. You have a lot of, as a musician, as a producer, you have like a lot of material, and you need to keep like launching and working. And how do you manage like your regular life and your singer life? And
yeah, it's interesting how they manage it. I don't have, and like my private life is music. That's it. Yeah, I go to the gym. That's my free time. Music and gym, and the rest of the time I go working.
And bicycle.
Bicycle. Yeah, I go with a bicycle to the gym. Like it's 10 minutes, but it's like very creative 10 minutes. So many times I have to stop to make like a voice message, to remember the like. It were too many times that you're like, this melody I keep in my mind until like in 2 hours.
No,
I don't.
No, it doesn't matter.
I was like, when you lay in bed and like, such a nice melody, I keep it until tomorrow. No, you don't. You have to make voice messages everywhere all the time.
I imagine you riding in Hamburg, like on the bicycle, like, kill a dragon, please.
Kill a dragon. Stop. In the middle of a street. Sorry.
Oh, it was such a fun. How do you manage to be in the front of the newspaper because organizing a tour is what I listened to it, but now it's like, how? What happened? What did you do?
I was writing on Facebook to the politics, like CDU, like what is like CDU, like Partei.
Yeah, it's like a government kind of we have for our...
Yeah, like I was texting them on Facebook because I found that they have Facebook, and I started to complain that there's a bus missing to the shuttle. And I was texting them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you want to also like, I don't know the English word. Like as a like extra young member, like when you're not 18, you're not normally allowed to go. Like, but there's like an extra club for like 16 plus kids who can like involve in the politics already. And they're like, oh nice, young kids that are like interested in politics. But I was only interested in like organizing the shuttle to the party, and then I was out, Yeah. Did that answer the question?
Yeah, because because for me it's so innocent, like to try to manage it.
I can show you the newspaper afterwards.
Yeah,
you have to just Google my name actually, and it's like one of the first.
No, if you send it to me, I'm going to put it in the podcast so everybody can see.
Oh no, it's such an ugly picture.
But it's a milestone. Like, how do you get into local newspaper? I cannot manage to.
Since I'm 16, I was for electronic dance music in clubs. Yeah.
No, that is the meaning of your determination. That you really wanted something, and you were moving yourself to make something. So that's good. You have a goal. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, you let me. I'm going to put in this podcast like the newspaper so people can see.
Okay.
Wow, and imagine your parents like, how do you manage to be in the newspapers?
Well.
No, that's very good about no, and also in Germany they have a very very big electronic music, and you have like the biggest clubs, like legendary clubs in Germany, in Berlin all day. Just
I was not so many times in Berlin. I was like most of the time with Fabio in Berlin Ost, and what was the other name? Like 2 clubs in Berlin.
Yeah, but Germany.
I was never in Berghain, for example.
Really?
Like you? No, not yet.
Well, maybe well, Germany, for me as a Mexican, is known as very big electronic music scene country. Like it has a lot of heavy metal, but also a lot of electronic music, legendary clubs. So Germany, like and different from other, Spain has Ibiza, and France, it has some clubs, and Switzerland, Portugal, Greece.
Netherlands is also crazy.
Yeah, Netherlands. Yeah, but a lot of heavy metal also. But Germany for me is like,
There are many hidden genres also beside electronic dance music, but smaller.
Yeah, but it's a very important country. Like for electronic music, they have like the biggest biggest festival in Germany. It's like for every DJ, they need to go into play to Germany. Like it's a big milestone. You go to Brazil, you need to go to Germany. You go to Mexico, for real. I am telling you as a Mexican, it's like for us, it's like we need to go over there. And I have some friends, but I never managed to go into play into there. It's like, maybe to Brazil because of less language barrier, and I make sidechains full on and with a guitar, so it's easy. But in Germany, it's more strict. Like, you need no, not this time. But yeah, so you're telling me, okay, you're well, as Fabio told us, you have a lot of music on the way. You have a side project where you're planning to launch like more music. Do you have any other plans for the next months, years?
Practicing my JOICEY set. Fabio's teaching me some DJing. So I was thinking to prepare JOICEY set, maybe like as a pre-outers before Fabio, so I can sing at my set and Fabio makes a set without JOICEY, just as an example. I could play a whole set with only my JOICEY songs, but I think that would be too much. So it would be a mixture of my songs, but also many unreleased songs that Fabio never plays, and also other songs that Fabio never plays because maybe they have. I always say they have less balls. They are too cheesy, but like for girls DJing set, it's probably quite nice. So I am really happy with the set that I prepared now, but it's far from finished. Probably, yeah.
Yeah, we're looking forward to hear it soon. At the beginning, you stated that you never left your dreams and always keep working. But what advice would you would use? Because singing into the silence and saying is not very common, but it's something very good. We have Michelle Adams song.
So my advice would be like it's similar to push yourself out of the comfort zone. When you're afraid to do something, do it with a fear. That's it. You will see how you grow. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I totally agree. When I started this podcast, I was afraid about making this because I'm an engineer. I didn't study nothing communication
I
related.
think the regret in the end of your life might be harder than the fear you have now to do it.
Yeah, I agree. You already have the no, but yeah, it's not a bigger deception for what you have not done. So, yeah, I fully agree with that. Oh, yeah, but besides that advice, something else, because it's difficult to start in this music scene, like to sing and to start music or to study music. At least here in Mexico, we have less and less musicians because more people is into the digital, more AI. But if somebody wants to sing, because I think you need to born with that talent. But if you have that talent,
No, you don't have to be born with that talent, but you have to be supported. Like I am really lucky because my mother started to play piano, so I was watching her playing piano, and one day I was like, Mom, I think I will also want to try to play piano. So my mom supported me in that way and like organized some lessons. She saw that I hate reading the notes, so she organized me like freestyle lessons kind of. So, and I don't know, whenever you have friends out there who like have some creative things, like just please support each other. It's so important because we have many talents out there and we just have to like push each other and believe more in each other and yeah, support each other.
so you're open to supporting new singers if they want to reach you. And
I have also many friends that start like with like 28, sometimes 30 to like, oh, I really want to sing and I really want to be like, for example, a vocalist in the drum bass scene. And like also a friend of me, she shows me stuff and like we push each other and give each other feedback. And I think it's really important.
yeah, for sure. I'm going to share you something that is very personal. I know how to play the guitar, but I never sing before. But I would love to sing.
Oh.
And my new like goal for this year was to make videos like playing the guitar and singing.
Crazy.
So I have my UAD, the Polo, and I just bought the Autotune X. So
Auto-tune like fixes everything.
yeah, so I'm planning to launch like videos like singing and playing the guitar. Maybe making covers for rock and roll tracks that I like.
Okay.
But with tracks, because I also was worried. I'm shy and afraid of singing. I can go with the guitar crazy and I can go into the stage, but for me singing is like something very personal. Is like something that I'm looking forward now. So yeah, so as soon as I finish like recording all the podcasts and everything,
You can show me. And then
yeah, for
Please
sure.
also to me. Maybe we make a song.
Yeah, I never sing before. I know how to play the guitar, but I was like, yeah, I can sing. So because when
it's like when you have this tiny thought, like believe in that thought, it can grow.
yeah, the thing was when I was studying music, I went to, before going into private classes for guitar, I tried to go to the conservatory, and they are like very methodical in classical music and everything. And I always was like a hard rock, heavy metal, like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest guy. Yeah, so in my exam to go inside, I was playing Stairway to Heaven. And I tried to sing, but my vocal teacher like, nah, you don't know how to sing. And I feel so bad about that. And I say, okay, maybe I'm not a singer, maybe I'm not good. And then I tried.
It's the process.
Yeah, but
Push yourself further out of the comfort zone. You have to practice.
yeah.
Have you seen, for example, like videos of Ed Sheeran when he started to sing compared to now? Or like there's so many artists when you see old videos of them, like everyone starts being shit. You know? The talent is to never give up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't recall the Ed Sheeran, but for example, I see Adele sing and I say like, wow, she's crazy. And I see Billie Eilish, like, wow, she was.
There were singers, yeah.
No, like
They practice for so long, and they never give up. They sing probably like every day.
Yeah, but they have angelical voices, and when I hear you, I was like, wow, you have like a good color that goes into psytrance.
Thank you.
It's what I identify. Yeah, because everybody, as you say, can sing, but I think that the color is something that you were born with.
And also play with your color of your voice.
Yeah, but you have experience in that. My color is going to be too Mexican, too mariachi. But I will try to do that, and I will show you for sure. The first, before launching anything, I'm going to start with covers, keep my pieces, my podcast, and my music. But then I will try to maybe some reels just to keep something different, something fresh. Just because sometimes in the studio I feel some like, oh, I don't want to make anything like it, and the editing sometimes is very tedious because it's the same. Like you switch angles, you normalize volumes, like very technical stuff that it's very repeated. So I've managed how to these things like have very good sound quality, audio technica, and this also records good, and the camera looks good. So only like a little bit of colorimetry and we're done. But I like to take the guitar and to sing, but I will play with my autotune. I will learn some YouTube university how to use the autotune, and I will learn something.
Nice, yeah. You can suck us over, and we.
For sure. Don't judge me too bad. If I see something in German, I say, oh, they like it. I will be Schweizer. Oh, Joyce, I want to thank you for sharing all of your career and your experience. And I know that you have like a short career, but we're looking forward to talk to you in a few years. Don't stop making music. You sing like an angel. I'm looking forward to see you live. And I don't identify that shy girl that you started, and when I see you in the dance floor like going crazy.
Yeah, I was like rather starving than asking like the waiter for something to drink or something. It was like I was really shy. But anyways, thank you so much for the invitation. It was a really nice interview. Thank you for the nice questions, and yeah, hope to see you next time.
Yeah, what are your social media where people can follow you?
Yeah, follow me on JOICEY Music on TikTok, Instagram. Yeah, thank you for every support.
Okay, let me close the episode in Spanish. A todos los que hubieran escuchado este podcast, sigan a JOICEY Music en todas sus redes sociales. Denle like y comparta para que eso siga creciendo. Y nos vemos en el próximo capítulo. Hasta luego.